those doors close. When the lights come, after the thank you, you got the homies, then you get to the bus, and then, y'all boys good, blah, 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 whatever, and then them doors close. And again, so you start to think, well, do anyone actually care? Will it matter when it's all over? Will I matter? And that's always the question. Well, will you matter when it's all over? Will you matter? Not the things you've done, the things you've done for everyone else, but will you actually matter to them, but most of all to you?
When it comes to rap legends, you'd think someone like Lil Wayne would be untouchable, but the unthinkable has happened. The same fans who once worshipped him are now turning their backs on him in a way hip-hop has never seen before. This isn't just a little backlash. This is a full-on collapse of loyalty that's shaking the Young Money empire to its core. What's happening right now feels like the saddest chapter in rap history. The Young Money frenzy that once built stars like Drake and Nicki Minaj is crumbling, and the one who started it all, Wayne himself, is facing the harshest fall of them all. Out of the trio, he's the one going out the worst, and his fan base, or what's left of it, doesn't even want to hear how deep this disaster is getting. The whispers are loud now. Lil Wayne might be ready to walk away from rap forever. Lil Wayne's world has flipped upside down in ways nobody ever thought possible, and the reality is brutal. In the entire 50-year history of hip-hop, no superstar of his level has ever been dragged down like this, and watching it unfold is both shocking and heartbreaking. Let's talk about something that isn't just shocking but downright humiliating. Imagine booking a huge arena tour, city after city packed with fans who have been riding with you for years, dropping serious money on tickets, only for them to walk out mid-show. That's exactly what's happening to Lil Wayne. And not just with a few stragglers sneaking out early. We're talking about massive groups of people straight up leaving in the middle of his set. The videos flooding the internet are brutal to watch, with whole sections emptying out while Wayne is still on stage. It's like watching a superstar fade in real time, and the embarrassment is impossible to ignore. Fans who once screamed every lyric are now saying, "Nah, I'm good," and heading for the exits. Here's the kicker. S is the exact reason Jay-Z kept Wayne far away from the Super Bowl halftime stage. Watching Kendrick's legendary performance makes it crystal clear that he made the right call. If you thought Wayne still had that magic, this moment proves otherwise, and it's making even his most loyal fans question if the legend has finally lost it for good. When you line this up side by side, the difference is embarrassing. Fans stood in the pouring rain for hours to watch Kendrick Lamar on his last tour, and not a single soul dared to leave early. Greatness kept them glued to their seats. Every drop of sweat, every lyric, and every second was worth it, and the crowd knew they were witnessing history. Now compare that to Lil Wayne, who is experiencing a starkly different reality, who had the luxury of air-conditioned indoor arenas, perfect sound systems, and comfortable seats. Yet, fans couldn't wait to sprint for the exits. Whole sections were gone before the encore, and the energy felt dead long before the lights came back on. It's a painful reminder that while Wayne may think he's still at the top, the crowd is showing him the truth loud and clear. He can cry about critics all he wants, but the empty seats tell the real story. His era might finally be done. Before we even dive into just how ugly the fallout is with Wayne's own fan base, let's clear the air about one thing. All those clowns who pushed the fake narrative that Lil Wayne deserved the Super Bowl stage over Kendrick Lamar, that argument is officially dead. That whole debate was nothing but a coping mechanism for Drake fans trying to rewrite reality, and this meltdown proves it once and for all. Honestly, putting Wayne on the Super Bowl stage would have been a straight-up disaster waiting to happen. Look at the footage right in front of your eyes. As a performer, how bad do you have to be for your own city, your supposed day one fans, to just get up and leave mid-show? These aren't haters sneaking in for free. These are ticket holders who paid real money to be there and still said, "Nah, this is too painful, I'm out." And I'm not exaggerating. This is coming from somebody who's been around shows for years. I've worked in touring and seen artists across every genre and every decade, from legends to newbies. Even with acts I didn't care for, the crowd usually stayed out of respect. But with Wayne, fans are walking out on a living rap icon, and that speaks volumes. This isn't just a weak set, it's an exposed reality that the Legends live game is collapsing in real time. Here's the wild part. This kind of walkout almost never happens to any performer, no matter the genre or the deca. D. From rock legends to pop stars to country icons, fans don't usually abandon their favorite artist in the middle of a show. For Wayne, though, that nightmare has become a reality, and it's playing out in front of the whole world. Why is this happening? It's simple. The same way the Faye Carter 6 rollout flopped, this entire era of Wayne's career has been defined by confusion and a disconnect. He doesn't know how to talk to his fans anymore, doesn't know how to hold a crowd, and doesn't even seem to know what they want from him. The same man who once set the standard is now struggling just to keep people's attention, and that's the saddest part of all. Now, Wayne is just aimlessly stumbling through this industry, and honestly, it's getting painful to watch. The energy that once defined his career is now gone. That once made him a rap icon is gone, and what's left is a shell of the performer people used to line up to see. It has gotten so bad that even his most loyal day one supporters, the ones who stuck by him through mixtape eras, label wars, and endless delays, are walking away in disappointment. That goodwill has evaporated, and the proof is right there in the empty seats and half-dead crowds. So, the question becomes, why is Lil Wayne seemingly destroying his own legacy and burning through what's left of his fan base? The first and most obvious reason is his live shows. His rapping has become raspy, his breath control weak, and instead of elevating his classics, he's turning them into tragic remixes that nobody asked for. Songs that once shook arenas now sound like rough karaoke versions of themselves, and fans feel robbed. It's not like rap is full of flawless live performers right now. Plenty of artists sound shaky on stage, and crowds usually forgive it. But with Wayne, the difference is that he's not just off-key. He looks tired, lost, and completely disconnected. People can sense when a legend is phoning it in, and that's why his downfall feels not only fast, but permanent. Fans who buy tickets are usually the easiest crowd to please. They arrive biased, hyped, and ready to sing along to anything to justify the money they spent. Most of the time, even a mediocre performance gets a pass because the audience just wants to have fun. But with Wayne, that safety net is gone. The fact that his own fans, the people who showed up wanting to root for him, are still walking out proves just how deep this fall has gone. It's not a little stumble, it's a collapse in real time. The problem isn't just his voice or his stage energy. His set list is completely delusional. Instead of feeding the crowd the classics they came to hear, he's mixing in random tracks that nobody cares about, dragging out awkward cuts, and skipping over the songs that defined an entire generation. It feels less like a celebration of his legacy and more like a reminder of how disconnected he's become from the people who once crowned him the GOAT. Honestly, this tour might end up being the final nail in the coffin for what's left of his live career. The way these fans are moving, they won't ever come back for another round. Here's where it gets even crazier. When I tried to track down the exact set list from the Detroit show, the one where the walkouts went viral, it was nearly impossible to find. That's unheard of. For any major artist, set lists are usually documented and shared instantly. But with Wayne, it's like nobody even bothered because nobody cared enough to record it. These shows have gotten so embarrassing that fans are moving on, don't even bother to document the set lists anymore. That's how little impact they're leaving. For most major artists, every single show is tracked, shared online, debated by fans, and broken down song by song. But with Wayne, there's radio silence, like nobody even cared enough to press record on their notes app. If you dig far enough back into the start of this tour, you can actually uncover one of the few documented set lists, and what it reveals explains everything. Right in the middle of the show, the very part that usually defines a tour and holds the performance together, Wayne completely drops the ball. Instead of building momentum, the flow crashes, killing the energy that should keep fans hooked. Compare this to someone like Kendrick Lamar or Tyler, the Creator, both of whom masterfully space out their hits, mixing new material with fan favorites in a way that keeps the audience locked in until the very last second. That's how you curate a night people remember. Wayne, on the other hand, structured his tour like he was throwing random songs at a wall and hoping something stuck. And it shows. Here's where the collapse gets even uglier. Compared to other tours, Wayne is failing because he literally quits rapping mid-show and exposes that he doesn't even want to be part of hip-hop anymore. Instead, he's chasing some half-baked rock star fantasy in a way that isn't working. Instead of leaning into his rap legacy, he's clogging up the set list with strange rock tracks and awkward crossover songs that nobody in the arena paid to hear. And if that wasn't bad enough, he doubles down by running through the weakest cuts off the Carter 6. Imagine paying to see one of the most legendary catalogs in rap history, only for the artist to force feed you his most forgettable records. It's like he's daring the crowd to walk out. Honestly, this might be the first time in all my years watching and analyzing live shows that I would have left early myself. Not only is Wayne a horrendous live performer at this stage in his career, but he's actively refusing to showcase the hits that built his empire. Instead, he's dragging fans through the darkest corners of his discography, songs even diehards try to forget. When you have hundreds of classics to choose from, yet you force your crowd to relive the absolute worst of your career, that's not just disappointing, that's career suicide on stage. At this point, it's impossible to ignore just how bad things have gotten. The shows are half empty, the venues aren't filling up, and ticket demand has hit rock bottom. Add that to the fact that the Carter 6 flopped so hard it disappeared off the charts in record time and stayed gone. And you're looking at one of the fastest, most brutal exits from the music scene in history. From rap we've ever witnessed. Other rappers have hit rough patches before, but Wayne's downfall feels different. It's shocking, delusional, and completely out of touch. Watching fans sprint for the exits while he still acts like everything is fine is surreal. The most disturbing part is that Wayne doesn't even seem to realize there's a problem. He's not adjusting his shows, not listening to his fans, and not doing anything to win back the audience that once carried him to the top. Then there's the team around him, a hollow version of the powerhouse he used to have. Gone are the sharp minds who could guide his moves, the people who understood how to protect and grow his empire. What's left now feels clueless, disorganized, and borderline destructive. Here's the scariest red flag. When Birdman starts looking like the more competent option for management, you know your situation is beyond repair. That's not growth, that's desperation, and it's dragging Wayne down even faster than the flopped music and the empty arenas combined. The truth is, Wayne's new team is nothing but engineers turned managers trying to squeeze every last drop of value out of his name, with zero regard for his longevity, his legacy, or hip-hop itself. They're not guiding him, they're exploiting him. The results are right there in plain sight. Fans walking out, arenas half empty, and the same supporters who once idolized him finally giving up for good. The Lil Wayne people grew up worshiping is gone, and what's left feels like a hollow impersonation. And let's not act like we weren't warned. Pusha T spelled this out years ago on Infrared, calling out Wayne's decline and hinting that his empire was running on fumes. Fast forward to now, and it looks like Push was right all along. This isn't just a slump. This is the final frontier, the point of no return. Wayne isn't just losing fans, he's losing the respect that once made him untouchable. When legacy acts hit this kind of low point, the smart move is to reconnect with the new generation. Perhaps they should even team back up with the artists they helped put on the map. For Wayne, that should have been the obvious path. He birthed stars, built movements, and had the power to reinvent himself by tapping back into that younger energy. But instead of embracing that role, he's stuck in denial, refusing to adapt, and letting his career crumble in real time. That's the clearest sign yet that he's finished, and there's no comeback waiting around the corner. If this were a normal situation, Wayne's protégés would be guiding him the same way he once guided them, paying back the blueprint he gave them years ago. But reality looks very different. His so-called helpers right now include Tyga, who's tagging along on this disastrous tour. Wayne, after his tour, could not sell even 10 albums in 2025, even if his life depended on it. Beyond that, the list of those who could help him shrinks down to Cupcake, Cardi B, Drake, and Nicki Minaj, none of whom are stepping up to save him. That leaves Wayne stranded. It is time to face the music. He has nothing left unless he is intentionally trying to spiral into more drama and embarrassing headlines. Every move just isolates him further, pushing him deeper into irrelevance. Honestly, this could end up being one of the ugliest fall-offs ever witnessed in hip-hop history. The timing makes it even crazier. The anniversary of Forever, that iconic all-star collaboration, just passed, and when you line it up against today's reality, it feels cursed. Drake spiraled into the worst year of his career after their beef. Kanye West, the man behind Graduation, has been unraveling in ways nobody thought possible. And now Wayne, with the Carter 6 tanking and his tour turning into a viral embarrassment, looks ready to bow out in shame. At this point, all that can be hoped for is that Eminem somehow dodges the curse of Forever. Because if the track record holds, that song has aged less like a classic anthem and more like a prophecy of downfall. It is wild to think how fast everything flipped. One minute, these guys were standing as rap icons, the blueprint of success, and now they look like straight-up losers in real time. With Wayne, it feels surreal. This is the same man who once stood at the very top of hip-hop, a figure every rapper measured themselves against. Now his fans do not even want to support him, and his peers are distancing themselves completely after the temper tantrum he threw when he got iced out of the Super Bowl stage. What makes it even sadder is the fact that we are in an era where rappers know how to build long-lasting careers. There is a playbook. Diversify, reinvent, tap into the new generation, and keep the legacy alive. Instead, Wayne has doubled down on delusion, making himself so out of touch that even his core audience is running for the exits. Hip-hop has always been a genre of comebacks, but for Wayne and the other names tied to that so-called legendary forever track, let's be realistic. I do not think any of them are coming back this time. Not after the crashes, not after the flops, and not after the fans themselves gave up. Wayne's fall-off is not just a stumble, it's one of the saddest spirals we have ever witnessed from a legend. But now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Lil Wayne's failing tour and his crumbling rap career? Do you think he can ever bounce back, or is this the end of the road for him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I will be reading every single one. If you stuck around until now, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you do not miss the next breakdown. Because if you thought this Wayne fall-off was crazy, wait until you see what just went down with Young Thug, a whole different kind of self-destruction that might be even worse.